Howdy guys, lovely to see you all again. Today we're going to be looking at the second half of The Sleep by Pantera. Let's take a look. Okay, so the first section of the second half of this solo is very, very similar to the start of the first section of the first half. So what I mean by that is this first little phrase is exactly the same, then this. That's pretty much exactly the same, but on the 19 bend, I don't pick it both ways. So thus far, that's identical. Just bring that 9 bend down, and then this part here as well. The 22 bend, the 17 bend, the 16 bend, and the 10 bend are all exactly what we saw in the first section on the previous video. So let's do that all one more time, and then we'll move on to the next chunk of this part. Okay, now in the original recording, I dare say he's squealing from the top of that 8 bend with his tiny gauge loose strings. But if you're a mere mortal like me, there's another way to do it. I do a squeal bend from 8 of the second string, and I want to do 5 of these. So I do 2 ups, and then I do 2 that go forwards and backwards, and then 1 more up again. So it goes up, up, up and back. And then the 5th bend, I want to end just as a straight full tone bend up. Okay, the next chunk that I follow that with is I do a bend on 7 of the 3rd string. I want to bend it up and back, then back down again, and then I go up. So it goes. When I get it back to the top of the 2nd bend, I want to do 3 little whammy flutters there. So I'm going to go like this. 1, 2, 3. And at the end of that 3rd whammy flutter, I bring the bend down and pull off to the 5. Okay, hopefully that's making sense. Then I work into this phrase, which is pretty delicious. A little bit Cowboys from Haley, if I may say so myself. I'm going to do a pull off from 7 to 5 on the 3rd, then jump to 7 of the 4th. And then after that, I do a slide from 5 to 4 on the 3rd. So altogether, that's going to be this. Okay, then from there, I want to jump to 5 of the 4th string with my middle finger, and then I slide from 4 to 2 on the 3rd. I'll do that phrase one more time. I do exactly the same thing up an octave. So what I'm doing there is I'm doing a pull off from 10 to 8 on the 1st string, jumping to 10 at the 2nd. I do the slide back 8 to 7 on the 1st, and then play 8 of the 2nd string. And then finish that chunk off with a slide from 7 to 5. So back to back. At the end of that, I do a big bend up and back on 8 of the 2nd string with a squeal obviously, and then I add a little bit of whammy. Now obviously Dime does them all over here with his special dime bucket pickup. So I'm assuming that 90% of you can't do that, and you will need to do some cheeky artificial harmonics like I'm doing. After that big squeal and the bend with a bit of whammy, I just want to add in that little slide that will get us ready for the start of the big run in section 2. So all I was doing there was a slide into 17 of the 6th string. So I'll go, and that'll be the end of the section. So let's try the whole thing from the start relatively slowly, and then we'll do it again even slower with some tenors. One more time with some taps. Alright guys, let's have a look at the second section. This is a big, long, delicious run with a lot of legato. It's quite enjoyable, but there are a lot of notes. So let's be patient with this one. I want to start off with a hammer-on, playing 15, 16, 17 on the 5th. Then I want to pull off back to the 15 and then slide to 17. And from that 17, I'm going to hammer 18, 19 as well. So this all happens relatively fast, so you can get it all done in one pick. Nice. After that, I want to jump to 17 of the 4th, then back up to 19 of the 5th. But I'm going to do a very similar kind of phrase. I'm going to do 17, 18, 19 on the 4th as a hammer-on, then play 17 of the 3rd, and then jump back to 19 of the 4th. So it'll go. Let's try and put a couple of those chunks together. Okay, then from there, I'm doing a very similar idea around A minor pentatonic, just up the octave with the cheeky blues note. I'm playing, what have I got here, 17, 19, 20 on the 3rd string. And then I want to play 17 of the 2nd string and then jump back up to 20 of the 3rd. So we'll go. Let's put together what we've got. Okay, and then from there, I'm going to play 17 of the 2nd string, then I'm going to do 2 pull-offs from 18. I'm going to pluck both of these, so it's going to go 18, 17 twice. So I'll go, at the end of that, I'm going to play 20 of the 2nd string, 20 of the 3rd string, jump back down to 17 of the 2nd, and then roll down those accidentals in the pentatonic, 20, 19, 17. That's the first little chunk of this, so we'll do it all again slowly. Okay, hopefully that makes sense. We'll do it all again slow with some tabs at the end, I promise, and then we work into this. Okay, so what I've got here is a bend on 19 of the 3rd string, then I play 17 of the 1st, and then after that I'm doing a pull off from 20 to 17 on the 2nd. So all together. Okay, then after that I'm going to do 2 20s on the 2nd string and do a pull off back to 17. So to go. It's a little bit of a strange rhythm, but it does sound pretty cool. Okay, after that I play 17 of the 1st string and then do a string skip back to the 3rd string and then roll down that 20, 19, 17 shape again. So let's have a look at what we've got from the second half of this chunk. Hopefully that's making sense. Then I'm working at this phrase. So I got just a little vibrato on 20 of the 1st string. Then after that, I'm doing a bend from 19 of the 1st string into a pull off to 17. So it goes. At the end of that, I'm playing 20 of the 2nd string, 17 of the 1st, back to 20. That's a bend, isn't it? So we're going 20 of the 2nd string, 17 of the 1st, and then ending on a bent vibrato. So we've got, as the end of that chunk. Let's go from the second half, hopefully that'll make sense, and then we'll try the whole thing. So from here. Alright, let's try the whole thing from the start. One more time, some taps. Okay, last section. This is pretty redonkulous. This is one of the reasons why I was so scared to do this for many years, but here we are. I have done it. So let's take it slowly. I want to start from 17 of the first string. It's going to be quite pentatonic-y. I want to play 17, 20, 22, and then I go back to 17, and then I want to do a pull off from 20. So all together. Okay, so that's the first chunk, and then I want to work into this phrase. So this one goes 17, 20, 22, 20, 22, 20, and then a hammer on into a pull off. So I'll do that slowly. One more time. Okay, so this is what we should have from the start. Okay, and the next part that I work through, I want to do a pull off from 22 to 20 on the second string. And then I'm going to jump to the first string and I'm going to play 17 to 22 as a hammer on. And then I pull off to 20 back to 17. So it's going to go like this. From the chunk before now. And then from there, I want to do another hammer on into a pull off from 20 back to 17. So we go. So from this little chunk now. Okay, just to finish that off, we're going to go. Let's slow that down. I'm going to play 20 of the second string, jump down to 17 of the first. And then from here, I'm going to go 22, 20, 17 as a pull off on the second string. And then end on a bend. So I go. So I'm going to do the whole thing in chunks and then try and play it sort of one after the other. Hopefully that's making sense. Then it works into this. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to play 17 of the first string, a pull off from 20 to 17 again, then I jump to 20 of the second string, and then back down to 17 of the first. So it goes. Then after that, I'm going to do a bend on 20 of the second and hit 17 twice. I'm going to do that whole idea twice, which is this. If I do those ideas back to back. Okay, there's a little bit at the end, but let's try and put together what we've got. Hopefully that's all making sense. Now the next bit is pretty weird. I'm going to do a sort of a flat finger covering 20 of the first, second, and third string. I play the first string twice, and then from there, do an economy pick or mini sweep, going from the second to the third. Then I pull off from that 20, 19, 17, and we're going to do that whole phrase 5 times. At the end of that, I go to 7th fret of the third string, 2 angry squeals, and then 19 up and back, and then I add some whammy vibrato there. And obviously, he's doing his crazy squeals over here. As I mentioned earlier, if you mere mortals don't have the dime bucket pickups and the ability to get those, we can cheat and do them in a different spot. So that is pretty much all of the third section. Let's do it nice and slow at a gentlemanly pace, and then we'll do it again even slower with some taps. One more time with some taps. And that was the second half of the sleep tutorial by Pantera. Hope you guys have enjoyed that. Please like and subscribe, and I'll catch you all very soon.